Hello, Ellie here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for this full moon flow. So this is a practice that is about the sort of ritual that you may like to do when we're coming to a full moon. But obviously this practice can be done at any other time. It doesn't have to be done around a full moon, but it's a nice gesture if that's something that you sort of like to do. Now, when we do think about kind of time of coming up to this full moon, I've got my full moon card here, which you probably can't see, but it's all about taking a bit of time to relax, recharge, and replenish your inner strength. So we'll have that in mind today. It's not going to be a super restorative practice. We're going to be moving and flowing around a lot as well. But just thinking about kind of connecting to that inner energy and taking some time to connect to our inner strength. So with that in mind, we will ground into the class in a comfortable seated position to begin with. So I'm cross-legged, but if you'd rather, you could have your feet out in front and start to close off the eyes, taking a steady gaze. Option to bring your hands to the heart space, across the chest, one hand over the other. We'll just take a moment to connect to your inhales and your exhales. Letting go of anything that came before this practice, anything that you may be thinking is going to come after. Really grounding into this present moment. Observing your energy levels, how your energy is feeling today, and just honoring whatever that is. Taking a moment to observe and notice what's alive within the body, the mind, as we ground into this practice. Releasing the hands and opening the eyes when you're ready. Take a couple of big shoulder rolls. And then coming into our Ardhani Shasana, so reach the left leg out in front and bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh and let your knee drop out to the side. You could always take blocks or props to support you here. You can have a block under that right thigh or under the hips. And bring your right hand to the ground behind you first of all. And inhale, lift up and out of the waist. And then start to twist to the right and bring the left hand around, maybe finding the right knee or thigh, and follow with your gaze, sending that gaze over the right shoulder. Breathing here into the twist. Notice what you notice. Start to release. So then we'll start to inhale, make space, and then on your exhale, coming forwards into a fold over this left leg. If you're working with a strap, you can grab your strap here. Really leading with the chest. Inhale, start to come back up. We switch over to the other side. So right leg comes out, sole of the left foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. We get ready for our twist. So left fingertips come behind. Inhale, make space. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand comes to the left knee or thigh. Follow with your gaze. Breathing into it here. On your inhales, making space, and on your exhales, moving into the space you created in your body. creating space physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever that is. Making space to honour whatever's there is coming up for you. Start to come out of your twist, back to neutral. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, start to walk the hands forward into your fold. So we're getting a lovely stretch into the left hip space, through the back of the right leg, through the lower back. So keep the spine nice and long, leading with the chest bone. Inhale, start to come up from your Janishasana. And we'll come into a Navasana boat pose position here. So you could have the hands behind your thighs, or they could be reaching out to the side of you. And thinking about what's going to work best for you, because now we're going to take a couple of rocks back. So using that strength in the core, so starting to switch on the core muscles here. Going to rock back a couple of times and then come into your Malasana. So rocking backwards for one. See if you can come back to that Navasana boat pose. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. And then this time, rocking back, bring the feet down, toes opening out to the side. Can you roll into your Malasana Yogic Squat here? So we're looking like this. Maybe your hips are on a block. Maybe you need to come a little higher up in your Malasana. Finding some space in the spine and across the chest. Inhale, start to power up through the legs. And then walking the feet in so that the feet are roughly hip width apart, and we're finding Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, reach your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, start to fold forwards. Soften the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, lift the chest and lengthen the spine. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Step or jump back and then come through your chaturanga. So on your inhale, either moving through into a cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhale, float back to downward facing dog. First downward dog of the practice. Taking a little pedal out through the legs here if you need to. Maybe moving around a little bit in your downward facing dog. The moon is such a powerful energy. It affects different parts of our cycle, lives. Sometimes you really feel the need to slow down a bit at the full moon, have some reflection and some rest. Inhale, start to bring the gaze forward, step the feet in between the hands, lift the chest and lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands through to heart center. Soft the eyes or take a steady gaze for a moment here. Connecting to however you're feeling right now, noticing physically, mentally, thinking about this worm moon and what it represents. And really it's all about the temperatures rising. It's the end of winter and the ground starting to thaw. It's starting to move into springtime. Starting to come out of our winter hibernation. And step out into the world. little bit more, perhaps. Thinking about what that might symbolize for you. So from here, we're going to step your right foot back, find your high lunge, lift it up and out from the waist. Maybe you find a baby back bend here. Maybe you even take your Kali Mudra, bending ever so slightly back, really lifting up and out of the waist as you breathe. And then coming back to neutral, dropping this back knee down, finding your low lunge here now. Using any blocks or props that you need here, you can have them here to frame the foot. And then we're going to float here. So on the exhale, shifting the weight back into the right leg. Seeing how it feels to float the arms back. Now again, it might be that you're working with blocks here and you're coming back on the exhale, lifting on the inhale, coming back to low lunge. Exhale, moving back into your half split. Inhale, coming into the low lunge. Maybe the fingertips are on the mat and you're working here. Or maybe the hands coming away. Doing what feels right for you. Working with the breath, leading with the breath. You might imagine as the fingertips reach up to the sky, or maybe it's your gaze coming up. We're saluting the moon, honoring the moon cycles, the moon's energy. And last one, come back to your low lunge, tuck the right toes under, power up through that back leg back to your high lunge. And now we're going to open out, coming into our goddess position. So toes pointing out to the side. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, goddess. Draw the pelvis up and in towards the body, cores engaged. Bring the weight to the outside edges of the feet. Taking some little pulses here. And then exhale, bring the hands to the hips, lengthen the legs, point your toes forward. Exhale, float down into your prasarita, Tadasana. Option to take the peace fingers around the big toes, bending into the arms, allowing the head to drop and hang heavy. Inhale, bring the hands to the hips, float your way back up. And then we're moving around onto the other side. So right leg's at the front, left leg's coming out to the back. High lunge here. Maybe you find your Kali Mudra. Lifting up and out from the waist. Maybe taking a baby back bend here. Breathing here. Coming out of the back bend. Then dropping the left knee down to the mat. And then on your exhale, we're floating back. Bring the fingertips down if you need to. Inhale, floating forwards into the lunge. Exhale, floating back into your half split. Can you keep the hands off the mat? No worries if you're wobbling all over the place. Moving with your breath. You might imagine that on the inhale, you're pushing this energy up to the sky. Beautiful fluid movements. Wobbling is all part of this practice. So have fun with it. Coming through your last one now and then meeting back in your low lunge. Power through, so tuck the left toes under. Power back up to your high lunge, and then we open out again. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, come down into your goddess. Draw that pelvis up and in towards the body, strong core activation. Taking some little pulses here. And exhale, release, point the toes forwards. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale, hinging from the hips, folding forwards into prasarita, Tadasana. Hands come to the peace fingers, come around the big toes perhaps. Folding over, elbows come out to the side. Bring the hands back to the hips. Inhale, lift the chest, coming back to center. And then stepping into the top of your mat, into your Tadasana mountain pose. Grounding here, bring the hands to Anjali Mudra. Then step your right foot back. Right toes are at a slight angle and front toes are facing forwards. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forwards into your pyramid pose. Sweep the arms behind you. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Reach the fingertips back up to the sky. Exhale, folding forwards, sweeping the arms down and around behind you. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. And now exhale, bring the hands down through to your heart center. And then grounding through this left foot, start to float the knee up to the chest. On your exhale, draw the right leg back, find your warrior three position. Inhale, can you draw this right knee up and in as you lift the hands? Exhale, float the right leg back. And once more, inhale, lift the right knee, lift the arms, exhale. Float the right leg back, float the arms back. And step this right foot back. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. Point the toes out to the side. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, release, point the toes forwards. Exhale, prasarita. Inhale, lift the chest back up. And now we pivot around so that the right foot's at the front, the left foot's at the back, the left toes at a slight angle, hips shining forwards. Inhale, sweep your fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, float forwards, but keeping the spine long. Reaching the fingertips back, moving with your breath. Inhale, float back up to standing. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, lift the chest, floating back up. And then this time, exhale, bring the hands through to heart center. Ground through the right foot, draw this left knee in. And we start to take these floats into warrior three again. So reaching the left foot out behind you and the fingertips come back. And then inhale, guiding the left knee in, reaching the fingertips up. And remember that you can make these movements as small or as big as you want them to be. They don't need to be in time with me, just flow with your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Allow your breath to lead your movement. Last one. And then come back to your Tadasana mountain pose when you're ready. And we'll step with the feet so that they're slightly further than hip width apart, toes pointing out. Start to bend through the legs, come into your Malasana, your Yogic Squat. So you could be staying higher up, could be having a block under the hips, could be in a seated Malasana. Finding the length in your spine. Engage Mula Bandha. Engage the muscles at the seat of your pelvis, the pelvic floor. And then coming into a little stretch here. So right fingertips come down to the mat, left fingertips reach up to the sky, follow with the gaze. Exhale, float the hand back down. Reach the left fingertips to the mat. Inhale, reach the right fingertips up to the sky, follow with the gaze. Exhale, release back down. And sit the bottom back down on the mat. Come back to your seated position and hug the knees in towards the body. Drop the forehead down towards the knees, closing off the eyes. And then lifting the head when you're ready. Coming back to a cross-legged position or legs out in front, whatever's most comfortable for you. Bringing the hands to heart center, one hand on top of the other. Feeling your breath in your body. Feeling the connection between your hands and your body. The connection between your body and the earth, the ground beneath you. And your connection to nature. Being part of nature. All part of this delicate ecosystem. Works together. Perhaps feeling that connection here. Lightly pressing the hands into the heart space, Anahata, heart chakra. When you're ready, releasing the hands and opening the eyes back up. Thank you so much for joining me for this short but sweet practice. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, do see the link below to my website with all the other things that I offer on there, or do subscribe to this channel to support this free yoga resource and see the further videos that I put on usually every week. And thank you so much for joining me. Can't wait to see you again very soon. Bye bye.